Hello everyone, this is the Voyager 1 here. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. I wanted to talk about Asheville Mall. I want to come back to Asheville Mall. And a question came up regarding one of my folks thinking if Asheville Mall is going to close down. So I revisited, and you're seeing that footage right now. This is primarily an update on what's been going on with Asheville Mall. There's been a lot of stores coming in and out, stores that are leaving. Some of them are actually relocating in town or relocating in the mall to like smaller or bigger spaces of the sorts. You see a lot of like experimentation going on. Like you have a store that practices dancing, then you have another store that's primarily like small business clothing in a sense. But it's in a spot that used to be a jewelry store. So it's very much artist experimentation going on over there. There's not very much kiosk sellers. I think that the rent for those tiny little things are like $1,000 a month or something. Probably the cheapest that you can get for a business-wise, open up a business retail place at Asheville Mall. Here's the thing. If Asheville Mall is to close, I still think that it's doing okay. The biggest hit to it that I can think of is JCPenney's leaving. That's the biggest hit to it, right? And it could absolutely result in kind of like a downward spiral for the area in a sense. Asheville Outlets has been bought out by Tanger. So I can't see any reason why Asheville Mall wouldn't be bought out by someone else who is willing to fit the bill. But when you have a huge turnout of businesses struggling to stay in the mall, and these aren't like unknown, or I don't want to say that, but like smaller businesses, like I mentioned. You have the Foot Locker. They can't hold down a store for themselves anymore. Spencer's, they can't hold down a store for themselves anymore. You have Hot Topic. They used to be able to hold down a store by themselves. When I was younger, they can't do that anymore. Not anymore, right? Gold Calendar is seasonal, in a sense. So you see a lot of that. And I especially think that you'll see a lot of that in these tourist towns. A lot of other places, they've repurposed malls. They made them residential areas, office spaces, which is good. We could use more office spaces for people like me and other folks. Sort of thing to think about is how do they turn out revenue for this? If people are coming and going back and forth, and these are small businesses, they're not going to make as much altogether as JCPenney did. That whole space by itself costs like $4,000 a month to turn out for rent, and it just declined further and further and further, which is unfortunate. But much needs to be seen. Much remains to be seen in this sort of thing. I don't want to give like a definitive answer, but it's more like asking a question. It's not far from reality, right? It's just not. But here's the thing. If Asheville Mall is to close, it will be a devastating type of, a devastating hit, even further devastating hit to Asheville itself and the surrounding area, right? It'll be a huge, huge problem. It'll be a hole in the town that tourism itself, even though it is growing since Hurricane Helene, since the hurricane a couple years ago, it'll be a hole that the tourism wouldn't react fast enough to fix, wouldn't be able to bring in the revenue to fix it quickly, right? And that's the issue that we're seeing. Tourism is coming back to Asheville. However, it's not at a quick enough pace to outpace these sorts of things and bring in more revenue, right? Biltmore Estate had to raise their prices. significantly. It used to be $50 just to go on the grounds. It's now $80. It's $110 if you want to go. Let's see, what's they have? The Luminaire, and then grounds, and then the tour, right? And that sort of thing. They went up in price, and the grounds and tour, house tours, was just $60 before the hurricane. They had to go up in price, right? So we're dealing with all of this sorts of thing. Now I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep track of it. But if Asheville Mall were to close down, it will be like Grove Arcade shutting down. It would be like Biltmore Park shutting down. It would be like the outlets shutting down. It would be a huge hole in tourism. So what's the closest mall to what? To us, really? It's the Blue Ridge Mall, which I haven't been to. It's like 20 minutes away, and I want to say Black Mountain, or yeah, it might be Black Mountain. Yeah, it's pretty far away. I could take the bus to it, but then I would have to take the Trailblazer bus even further all the way to it, and it's just a complete hassle to itself, you know. Eventually, I will get there, probably one day. But in any case, these are sorts of things that can happen, but I don't think it'll necessarily happen in the foreseeable future. But it's worth keeping an eye out for. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.